Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not once have I bashed or really said anything negative about any of the places I've eaten. I generally let a lot slide before I get really aggravated with something. I've worked in retail the last 10 years, so I'm used to dealing with sometimes, less than pleasurable customers. So I've got to, it takes a lot for me to get really upset. So my girlfriend Amanda, her day off today, right? She turned 21 last week. So she went out with her neighbor, Amy, to just go do some shopping, right? So she gets back and she's like, oh, do you want to go to maybe Applebee's or something? Like, oh, that sounds awesome. It was totally unexpected and whatnot. We go to Applebee's and we've always gone there for their nachos, primarily their chili cheese nachos. Her first drink she's been able to get since she's turned 21 in a restaurant, so she's pretty excited about it. We start with appetizers. So we get the Applebee's trio, the appetizers. So I got the tacos there with, the slaw. The chicken tastes like it got a little bit of peanut sauce in the bottom. The mozzarella, sticks, and the boneless buffalo wings. She obviously wants the chili cheese nachos, but then she specifies, I don't want no pico de gallo on it, and no chili. Then it comes obviously with like your sour cream, the queso cheese, your tomato, I think your shredded cheese, and all that good stuff. So just basically no pico de gallo and no chili on it. So she orders the chili cheese nachos, obviously, because that's what she loves going there for. And then for me, for an entree, I ordered what is the Napa chicken and portobello, which looked good and it was a little bit healthier, so ordered that. So while we're waiting for our food, our waiter comes back. Comes back by. I'm like, oh, I realized what I wanted for a drink. Straight mojito, lime mojito. He's like, all right. About 10, 15 minutes go by, I would say, and then he passes back by and he stops. He goes, he's like, did you order a drink? I'm like, yeah, a lime mojito. He's like, oh, I just completely forgot to write it down and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, that's not a super big deal. It kind of sucks, but that's all right. The appetizer shows up with the boneless, chicken wings, buffalo wings there. The tacos with the slaw and the mozzarella sticks. So we're eating that. Then the mojito shows up, after we'd finished the appetizer and whatnot. And the mojito was all right. I had to add quite a bit of sugar to it for me to like it, to be honest. My Napa chicken shows up, and her food shows up. Well, when they drop the food off, he's like, oh, and here are your cheese fries. And we're both puzzled, and we're like, no, they're chili cheese nachos without the chili and the pico de gallo. And he looks kind of puzzled, so he basically takes the order again to make sure, and then leaves the fries, said, oh, you guys can just have those. I'm like, okay, so we didn't even touch the fries. And then he goes back, so I've got my food sitting in front of me, and I'm like, I'm going to wait for Amanda's food to get here. So she's kind of a little, upset. So she goes and just smokes a cigarette or whatever. And while she's gone, he brings the next round of the nachos back. This time, it's the nachos with just this white, like, liquidy, what looks to be like a watered-down salad dressing, queso, or whatever it is on top of it, with just a few jalapenos here and there, like a big stack of lettuce on top, sour cream, and maybe there's a few tomatoes on there. And I can already tell, like, before she even got back, I'm like, that's not right either. Like, we're used to seeing, salsa and sour cream and all this and that. So, like, well, what the hell's going on? But now we're getting, like, really pissed off. No, this isn't right either. It's like, is there anything else is there something else I can get in? We're like, no, because we were kind of, I'd picked up my, my chicken, Napa portobello or whatever. I'd been picking at, like, the potatoes, but I didn't even eat the chicken. Fed up and, like, didn't want anything at that point. And I was done at that point eating myself. I'm just like, I don't want anymore. The manager comes over and is like, it wasn't what we ordered, and it totally wasn't ordered. To me, if you're gonna, if someone orders chili cheese nachos, okay, and you screw up and you bring out cheese fries, I could almost see how you could screw up chili cheese nachos to be chili cheese fries. But when you say no pico de gallo, there's not pico de gallo on cheese fries. Not in many places that I know of it. The cheese fries was the big one, and then they come back with more nachos that were even more wrong, because that's the other thing, was the pico de gallo was in that runny queso sauce. So if she's saying no pico de gallo, and it's in the sauce, Why would you want it? We ordered it without the pico de gallo in it. She didn't want it in it. And if you're unsure, go ask the kitchen. But she said chili cheese nachos and specified what she did not want on them. And what I'm going to show you now is what I found on the website, which was, and it's not on the site, but it's on their menu still. All right? And if you don't serve what's on your menu still, maybe you should cross it off. Maybe you should cross it off. So here's what I'm going to show you. All right? This right here is what we ordered. Or what we got in place of what we ordered. I don't have the cheese fries to show you, but these are the chili cheese nachos, and I'm quoting with my fingers right now. And this is not chili cheese nachos. What this actually is, with this picture that I found on the website, is actually queso blanco, or blanco, queso blanco. That's what this looks like to me. All right, this is not chili cheese nachos at all. All right. And then, after looking up chili cheese nachos from Applebee's in Google, here's what I found. Now, this is what we actually ordered. If you didn't have it, don't let us order and tell us that, oh, we don't carry it anymore. All right? Or, you know, make a special, if we have to pay a little more or something or whatever, I don't really care. But either make them, say you don't have them or whatever, take them off the damn menu. So coming back now, what's aggravating is, so the manager comes over, we still get charged full price for everything. Essentially, Amanda had a little bite of one of the tacos off the appetizer plate I had, and a couple of the little boneless buffalo wings. She didn't eat anything else. Like, that was her meal, and they screwed it up twice. With the soda, the sodas are 2 alcoholic drinks, my entree, the Napa chicken portobello. They didn't charge for the cheese fries or the queso blanco, which is what they really gave us. And after all that, we still get charged $44. That's not what I call customer service at all. If it was me and I was the manager and my waiter or whatever screwed up that bad, I'm not saying comp the whole meal, but give at least a slight discount for essentially, you know, screwing up their dinner, like royally screwed it up because, you know, we wanted to go there and have like a nice meal, or have her first alcoholic drink at a restaurant after turning 21. You butchered it completely, killed it. And to the point where I didn't eat this, and it's going to get a little dark here. This was the chicken I'd gotten, right? And it looks and smells amazing, all right? And I didn't even try this chicken, so I'm going to try it now on camera, even though, you know, whatever. Got, you know, a ton of onions, which I'm totally cool with, you know? All right? Nice, huge bite for you, all right? You know, actually, and the sad thing is, that's actually really good to me. But guess what, Applebee's? Your service, it was terrible tonight. And it takes a lot for me to get really aggravated. We end up paying like $44 for 2 alcoholic drinks, 2 sodas, this, and the trio platter. And a lot more aggravation than I've dealt with at a sit-down place in a long time, or ever, really, for that matter. Even though this was great, your service sucked. Guess what we did? Went down the street to Domino's, where we know we're not going to get garbage service. We got us some of the bread bites, all right? So in lieu of Applebee's service being totally terrible, screwing up our order twice, charging us full price still, and letting us go out the door unhappy, we don't go out to eat like that often. Because we don't have a ton of money to go out and eat like that a lot. So when we have to pay that much money and get disappointed that badly is terrible. In this same video, I'm going to go ahead and review the bread bites from Domino's. It's our bread bites of goodness here, okay? Hopefully this is showing up all right in the camera. Garlicky, smelling great. A little bit of herbs on there and the cheese. We got our awesome marinara here from Domino's. So we're just going to go ahead and dip these crispy nuggets of goodness in here. These taste right. This doesn't taste like a disappointment to me at all. They're salty, they're cheesy, they're delicious, the sauce makes them just right. So, if I was to rate the Domino's bread bites, I'd give them probably a good, I'd say probably a 3.5 or a 4. They're always good, they're delicious, they're a great quick little appetizer, snack, whatever, for when you go to a restaurant you really like, and then they they make, your experience pretty awful. So, to say the least, Applebee's, you lost our business, at least at this location. And if it wasn't obvious that, when you brought us the cheese fries, the first screw up, and then brought us the second round of nachos, the second screw up, and we didn't take any of them and said we don't want them, don't you think that should have been a coup that we were a little aggravated, and then you still charged us full price? And you wonder why your waiters got a big goose egg for a tip. I won't want to be eating at an Applebee's for a while. Probably like a 5 or 10 minute drive from us. That's the closest one within 40 minutes. So that's disappointing. We love their nachos there. If they didn't have what we ordered, they should have said we don't have them, or we still have the ingredients. You guys are going to still have the ingredients. You're still going to have lettuce, tomato, sour cream, the queso, the real legit thick queso, the jalapenos. You're still going to have all that stuff. That's not uncommon ingredients, all right? We ordered, chili cheese nachos, and then they give us queso blanco is what they give us on the nachos. They gave us something completely different. If they didn't offer it, it shouldn't be on their website, and then they should have just told us they don't offer it. Applebee's, you get a fat 0 on everything, even though the appetizer trio was good. That chicken was good too. But you screwing up on the nachos twice, bringing us 2 things that we didn't even order, that gets you a goose egg on service and everything. I don't even care how good that tastes. If your customer service sucks, I could care less how good your food is. Domino's, on the other hand, you get a 3.5 or a 4. Those things are good, and we know they're good. That's why we had to go order 2 of those to compensate for the lack of compassion and service over at Applebee's. So that's it. I generally don't do these kind of reviews or rants, but I felt this was something that needed it because I let people get away with stuff way too much. I'm way too nice most of the time. So I think this is something that needs to be brought to their attention. I hope they see this video. Applebee's, I hope you're watching, and I hope you make this right at that restaurant, at least in any of the restaurants that still have that on the menu. Okay? You need to fix this. It's unacceptable.